Hi, I'm Sean Gannon, and this is Minute Math. And today we're learning about scatter plots and lines of fit. In this video, we're going to identify correlation. Then we're going to interpret data from a table. We're going to write a line of fit. We're then going to make predictions using a model. We're going to analyze negative correlation. And lastly, we will estimate a line of fit from data. So, when you're ready, let's get started. Determine whether each situation shows positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation. First one, the more hours a student studies, the higher the test score. So more hours as time goes on, as hours increases, right? We're increasing the hours. So hours, moving on, it's increasing or going up. Then the higher the test score. So if both are increasing, as hours increase, test score increases, we would say that's a positive correlation. The next one. The faster a car drives, the less time it takes to read a destination. Our two variables here. The faster the car drives, the less time it takes to reach a destination. So as the car is going faster, so speed increases, goes up, the time it takes to reach a destination goes down. Time goes down. So speed going over, time's going down. We would say that's a negative correlation, okay? As one's going positive, the other one's negative. It's a negative correlation. Now lastly, the shoe size compared to math test scores. Well, they don't really tell us that they're actually related at all, right? And that really makes, well, any sense if it would be, right? Why would your shoe size determine your math test score? So between these two variables, there are no correlations. So no correlation. All right. So we have an example of a positive correlation. We have a negative correlation, and then a no correlation. Use the table to answer the questions below. We have a table here where the X values are the hours studied. They go 1 through 6, and they correspond to a specific test score, variable Y, 60, 65, 70, 78, 83, and 88. Our first question here says, describe the correlation. Well, if we want to describe this correlation, we can see as X increases, right, as the hour study increases, the test scores also go up. So since they're both increasing, we would say this is a positive correlation. A positive correlation. Now, estimate the slope using the first and last points. So if remember, our slope is our y2 over y1 over x2 minus x1. Or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our first and last points, this would be the last one, and this is the first one right here. All right. So the last point, y2, we do 88 minus 60 over x2, 6 minus 1. 88 minus 60 is a 28, and 6 minus 1 is a 5, and that equals a 28 over 5 is a 5.6 as a decimal. All right, so either 28 over 5 or a 5.6. Now let's interpret the slope in context, right? Well, what does that slope tell us here? It says for every hour studied, so for every 1 hour studied, the test score increases, that positive correlation increases 5.6 points. Our slope. So as every 1 hour, study one more hour, we should see on average an increase of 5.6 points on the test. Use the points 1, 60 and 6, 88 to write a linear model. Okay. Well, let's first find the slope between these 2 points. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 88 minus y1, 60 over x2, 6 minus y1, x1, 1. 88 minus 60 is a 28. 6 minus 1 is a 5. And 28 over 5 comes out to be a 5.6 as a decimal. So now we can use a point slope form here for this. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Well, let's use our first point right here. So y minus 60 equals 5.6, our slope, times x minus x1, 1. Now let's convert this to slope-intercept form. I'm going to distribute the 5.6, so I have y minus 60 equals a 5.6x minus a 5.6, right? 5.6 times 1 is 5.6. Then we have to add a 60 to both sides. We have y equals a 5.6x here, plus 60 minus a 5.6 is a 54.4. So if I rewrite this equation, y equals 5.6x plus 54.4. And there's our linear model here using these 2 points. Use the model y equals 5.6x plus 54.4 to predict the test score y for 7 hours of studying x. Well, they give us the model here that y equals 5.6x plus 54.4. Now, y represents the score on the test, and x is the number of hours studying. Well, they tell us here they want to plug in 7 in for x, and that should predict for us a score of y, whatever it is. So if y equals 5.6 times 7 for x plus 54.4. Now, multiplying this out, 5.6 times 7 gives us a 39.2 plus a 54.4. That's a y here. And we have a y value equals a 39.2 plus 54.4. That's a 6 here, and that's a 93.6. So we can predict if we had 7 hours of studying, we have a score of 93.6. Now, where would this actually kind of fail? Well, what would happen if we put 10 or 50 or 100 in for hours of studying? We'd have a score way above 100. Not going to really be practical, right? We have a limit of 100 points for our score here, but in this case, within the data range, it can be a good predictor here. So for 7 hours of studying, our x value, we got a y value, a test score of 93.6. Use the table below to answer the questions. We have a temperature here, x, and heating cost, y. We're not giving units for this, but we can assume it's degrees and some cost there. Our temperature x, as the temperature increases, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, our heating cost y goes down 120, 110, 100, 92, 85, 78. So describe the correlation. As x increases, our heating cost decreases, meaning we have a negative correlation. So we have a negative correlation. Temperature increases, heating cost decreases. Let's estimate now the slope. So to do that here, I'm going to use my y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And let's use the first and last point here. So we're going to pick the first and the last point here. So y2 be 78 minus y1, 120, over x2, 45, minus x1, which is a 20. Now, 78 minus 120 is a negative 42, and 45 minus 20 here is a 25. Negative 42 over 25 is a negative 1.68. So we have a slope here of negative 1.68. All right, so m is a negative 1.68, an estimate. And it should be negative because it's a negative correlation. All right. Now we want to write a linear model. Use our point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus, let's pick a point here, and the point I picked was the first one. So y1 be 120, equals our slope we found, negative 1.68, times x minus x1, which is a 20. Simplify this, distribute the minus 1.68. So we have negative 1.68x. Now we have a negative times a negative here, so we have plus here. And so 20 times 1.68 is a 33.6. We now have to add 120 to both sides. And we have y now by itself is a negative 1.68x plus 33.6 plus 120 is 153.6. And so our linear model here, y equals negative 1.68x plus 153.6. So we were given a table here of temperature to heating costs. We described the correlation, we estimated the slope, and we found a linear model that roughly matches the table. We are given this data set 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 10, and 5, 11. We want to describe the correlation, choose 2 points that best represent the trend, and then estimate a line of fit. All right, let's first talk about the correlation here. If we notice, as our x values get larger, our y values also get larger. And so since both of those occur, they're both increasing, we can say this is a positive correlation. When they're both increasing, it's a positive correlation. Now choose 2 points that best represent the trend. This one's kind of hard and it's kind of subjective in a way here. And from what I'm getting here, I'm just kind of going to pick the first and the last to kind of sandwich the data here for my point here. So the first 2 points I'm going to pick are 1, 4 and 5, 11. All right. Now we want to estimate a line of fit. So we're going to take these 2 points and basically come up with an equation of a line. We first need to find the slope. M, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 11 minus 4 over 5 minus 1. 11 minus 4 is going to give me a 7, and 5 minus 1 is a 4. 7 over 4 simplifies to be a 1.75, or as a decimal. So now we're going to come with an equation of a line. Let's use point slope form. We have y minus, let's pick our first point here, so 4 equals our slope, 1.75 times x minus x1, our first point, x value coordinate there. And I picked that one, I could have picked either one, but I picked that one because, well, I like having one. So we have y minus 4 equals 1.75 times x, 1.75x, minus 1 times 1.75 is 1.75. See, it's always easy when it's a 1. We now have to add a 4 to both sides, right there, and we're left with y by itself is equal to 1.75x plus a 2.25 here. And so we now have an estimate. Again, we could pick different points. It might be a different estimate, but we have an estimate here, and we have y equals 1.75x plus 2.25. That's an estimate for a line of fit given this data set. I hope you learned something here on scatter plots and lines of fit. And as always, thanks for watching.